has attended a private school up until the last 2 years due to financial reasons. Hey, you know, $1,000 a month for private school, I wasn't going to be able to do that anymore. So I chose a public school for her. This public school is actually a charter school, and some of you guys may or may not know, charter schools are basically or were created to be another option to the public school education system. The curriculum is not 100% standardized, and what I mean by that is they could have a focus such as arts and technology or engineering or computer science or whatnot. They can have these different emphases as far as the curriculum, and typically the schools are a little bit smaller. However, when I say, oh, charter school, when I start naming off, oh, smaller classrooms, you know, kind of emphasis on certain career based kind of curriculum, it sounds great. However, very small numbers of charter schools are actually getting the test scores and the ratings that you would actually want to see from a place that you're leaving your kid 8 hours a day, if you know what I'm saying. So as I have said in a previous video, if you're new to this channel, I have a video called Your Kid is Just, You Just Got a Badass Kid. Okay, and I was just sharing some of my experiences with my daughter and her experiences in school, being basically a child with an emotional disturbance. If you don't know what that can consist of, go ahead, check it out. But, you know, crying, screaming, tantrums, difficulty, you know, to soothe, and in turn, they can be labeled as a bad kid. However, academically, very bright, very quick and easy to pick up on concepts and learn. Anyway, so, okay, my child having these issues, you know what I'm saying, issues. I get called just about every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Not just to call me, not just so I can talk to her, call me to have me pick her up. Now, I don't know if you guys hear this, but if you get called every single day out of a academic day, which should be a total of almost 8 hours for a child, almost 8 hours, and you're picking the child up early, the child is losing valuable academic hours. Okay, and I have in turn turned, you know, I've definitely have been a parent who was I don't want to say compliant, but, you know, I was very cooperative when they needed me. When they called me, I would come, I would pick her up. But my child being in therapy, counseling and things like that, I have since been introduced to a educational advocate. And so I know I said this was going to be about public schools, but also I wanted to touch on parents being empowered and know what their rights are, their child's rights are as far as the school system, because the schools, especially public school education, they will definitely, in my opinion, try to manipulate you. They will try to intimidate you because you do not know what and shouldn't be done. Okay? So this advocate is basically helping me out because my daughter was having these you know, ongoing issues. And when I say ongoing, it wasn't just at this school. When she was attending a private school, when she was attending a private school, they worked with her. There was definitely some improvement because, in my opinion, there was a lot more positive reinforcement there, as well as support for myself and my child. However, the issues were there. They've always been there since school age. So one could say this is not just a child that's acting out. This is a child that has exhibited this type of, I don't want to say condition, but this type of problematic behavior since school age. So therefore, that means that there should be accommodations made. And I think it's very easy for us as parents when we know that our child is not necessarily sticking to the rules, they are being disruptive, as being reported by the school to us. However, if it is not the traditional discipline issue, being unresponsive to adults, acting out, misbehaving, if it is not that and you believe it is something more, then you do have rights. Your school system should offer you first a student success team. That's where we basically started off. The student success team was where myself, my daughter's teachers, the principal, the school counselor, if they have one, will come together and try to create a plan of action and follow along this plan of action to see if any of these things change. It could be a different seating placement for your child. It could be a safe place for your child to go to, as far as maybe, oh, I can send her across the hall to the other student, to another teacher's room where they can calm down. It could be a behavior chart. It could be stickers on the chart. It could be a whole bunch of different modifications, basically to try to also help the teacher see if they can find a different recipe for working with your child. Now, if that does not work, there is also something called a IEP, which is an individual educational plan for your child. It is just that, an individual educational plan, and that usually falls under the category of special education. And I know how we are, like, my child ain't special. You know what I mean? My child is just fine. Well, okay, your child can just be fine. Your child might not be special education, if you know what I'm saying. However, if your child is not being able to withstand the whole day of class, if they're missing valuable academic hours, if just the school classroom setting has been very difficult for your child, there might be some considerations there. Also, the important thing with the IEP, if your child does qualify, is that it covers your child. It's like a protection for your child. The school will not be able to do certain things because it is your child is considered special needs. And I don't see nothing wrong with that, because last time I checked, I was a little special too. Okay, I'm not saying I need to be handled with kid gloves, but you can't treat me the same way you treat any and everybody, and my child is the same way. So with the IEP as well, you have to go through assessments through the school districts, typically through the school psychologist, assessed within the classroom, cognitive skills, which is, their ability to learn, all that. Now, of course, like I said, my daughter is bright. She's on top. When I say on top, basically she's grade level or above as far as her academics, and her cognitive skills are exceptional. However, she, through observations from doctors, psychologists, counselors, and things like that, she has been checked off as far as having moderate risks for, depression, low self-esteem, anxiety, all of these things which can create a very difficult time for a child in school. So, like I said, public school's just been talking about, she needs to be on half day. No, my child doesn't need to be on half day simply because you guys don't know how to act. And I say that because I'm not one of those parents who are like, my child don't do nothing wrong. However, let me tell you, okay, coming from a private school setting, okay, the private school setting, your child is going to learn. Your child is going to, in a lot of times, receive exceptional academic curriculum. They will surpass the public school curriculum as far as what they're learning. The setting will also be very nurturing. And I just find that in a private school, especially since you're paying, you are going to receive, your child will receive, as well as your interaction with the school, it will be very professional. Now, my experience with this school, which is public charter, is that it is unprofessional, and I'm not deeming all charter or public schools unprofessional, but, you know, I'm dealing with my people, if you know what I'm saying, and they want to talk to your kids like they're theirs. Didn't I tell you? Why don't you use common sense? So, I'm not even going to go in depth, but you guys see where I'm going with this. So, my child doesn't qualify for the IEP program or IEP, individualized educational plan. So now it's, you got to come pick her up. You got to come pick her up. I digress. Let me go back to the advocate. You guys, if you are having these type of issues within the school system, you should seek out an educational advocate for yourself. Some of them are nonprofit. Some of them are on a sliding scale. Some of them are free. Now, they know the laws in which your school system should abide by, and they can tell you if there needs to be things done on your part. Since then, hooking up with the advocate, I have written letters to the school requesting a 504 plan. A 504 plan is a plan for a child who does not fall under the IEP or special education, but it basically is for any child that has something that is affecting their education, affecting their ability to learn, and it is a child's civil right to receive quality education. It's the law. So now we're going into the 504 plan, and I think I'm going to stop it right here. I just want to say, and I probably will continue this video, I just don't want it to be like a 25-minute long video, because I know some of you guys don't even have kids. Some of you guys probably don't have your kids in public schools, but that's just kind of me sharing what's going on right now. And the thing is, let me just give my brief opinion about public school as I see it right now. Public school is it's a damn shame, because if you can't afford, or you don't live in the area where there is a quality public school, which is typically not going to be in an urban area, and it's not going to typically be in an area where it's predominantly minorities, your child's education and their ability to receive quality education is basically going to be snubbed.